What's up, everybody? Blade, Power Man, Nathan. Let's see, we can't get this going here. So I just found that Cyclone is on the list of currently broken pets as well. Unfortunately. I just got my my Automeow here to up to where I can evolve him, or evolve it. And sadly, Cyclone's not doing anything. Let's see if it's doing a damage boost at all. No, it's not doing anything for damage or speed. So Cyclone, Poisonous Tips, Sandstorm. I'm not sure what else, but there's quite a few pets that are not working right now, as of, I'm assuming, the last hotfix. So I might as well switch and get Drago leveled up a little higher. Let's see what we got here. Did a little early morning farming when I first woke up. Let's see. Alright, Nightbot is there. You know, curious, I don't remember what the command is. If you do exclamation commands, it'll give you a link to all the commands for the channel. I don't remember which one it is, but there is a command with a video linking to what to use, Medallion versus Mark. Omni's been playing random stuff. He's had a big Path of Exile kick lately. Which I personally am, you know, Path of Exile just doesn't do it for me. It just makes me want to play Diablo. All that stuff can go away. No, I haven't been having any problems with grab bots they're doing. Looks like Nightbot is dragging behind a little today, huh? And there he goes. My favorite character is the EV2 Power Man, no doubt about it. Oh, not much. Just doing my thing, you know. I've been setting up a lot of these reflect beam builds lately, just because, you know, you can look away if a siege roller's coming and not have to worry about it. So basically what I do is on all of the boss, well, I mean, depending on the map, some maps have enough DU to do this setup on every lane. But basically, all of the boss lanes, I'll do the Proton Beam Sand Trap, a Reflect Beam on top of it, and then 2 Flame Auras, one on the setup and another back at the wall. This particular map is going to need a couple of Sky Guards too. And then on the non-boss lanes, I just been doing just a Proton Beam and 3 Auras. Actually, you can get away with not using 3 Auras and only using 2 on those lanes if you've got a decent relic for them. Light Rain, what's going on? So we got another boss lane right here. Now, of course, you just have to remember which ones are the boss lanes from running the map. There's no indicator at the start of the map of which ones will be boss lanes and which ones won't. But, you know, just doing it a few times and you get all that stuff down. Alright, so here we got a boss lane and a non-boss lane. So let's get some walls in, and I like to do a little aura sharing here on this lane too. And here's the boss lane. 3 a.m. Good lord, man, go to sleep. Let's see, and then we'll put a alright here, Sharon. Actually, don't even need to, it looks like. Yeah, I guess it works out. I'll have 10 DU left over. So that worked out perfect. So I've got the reflect set up with the sand trap on each of the 3 boss lanes, and then nothing anywhere else. Quicksilver, what's going on? Still looking for a set of gear for my EV. I've got pretty mixed armor on right now, and I'm using a purple McDougars at the moment, as that's just the best canister I've found so far this time through. I'm very anxious to see how McManus does with that Life Leech Ancient Power talent. Because, like, right now, it does, you know, Charge Shot is a version of your primary attack, even though it's caused by, from a shard. So, the Life Leech is proccing off a Charge Shot, and it's a big number. It's like 35,000, 40,000 to heal. So, you know, if you get 2 or 3 Charge Shot procs in a row, it'll heal you over 100,000 damage just like that. So I have been playing around with it a little bit, but I need to get a McManus to really get a full look at it. Using this purple McDougars is not necessarily getting the job done. What's going on there, Rich? And then for upgrade priority, I just upgrade the boss lane. Go through all the boss lanes. Like, the boss is coming here. It's actually Malthius, so Malthius won't come out all the way. Get that lane upgraded, and then throw, actually, let's double up the Sky Guards, and then we can forget about them. And then I don't plan on coming over here, so I'm going to upgrade this lane just out of convenience. That way I don't have to go over there and worry about it. And then 400 left. I mean, might as well just continue on with the boss lanes and get them squared away. Actually, almost had enough to do everything. I shouldn't have stopped on that lane, but it's all good. Oh man, that sucks, Dylan. At least he dies fast. That's terrible, Light Raid. I beat that map the other night, finally. I actually beat map 3 on my first try. Map 4 is... the learning curve is there once again. Map 4, the difficulty level is way higher. But, I mean, the good thing about map 4, too, is it really is about the early game. If you can survive the early game and get your stuff in order in a timely fashion, that's the key to success on map 4, it seems like. I haven't made it very far. I mean, there's just mad zombies everywhere on map 4. Oh, you meant for Malthius. I thought you were talking about me and the Arabillions. Because that happens too. I've had some, like, day 10 losses. Yeah, he's not out far enough. Come on out. Come on out, Malthius. I don't have all this proton charge shards in, as I've got more hero damage stuff than anything else. Yeah, I thought you were just being mean to me, Light Rain. Let's see. I think it's here, right? Yep. You gotta follow me on Twitter there, Nathan. I posted it on the community page and on my Twitch page as well. My wife got back into town from her trip to go see her mama. So I had to go up to the airport to go get her. Light Rain probably. Yep, there it is. Light Rain knows the links. It's kind of sad, really. Light Rain knows the links better than I do. But Light Rain did a lot of work on the bot, too. So, got to give credit where credit's due. I gotta quit spamming Proton Charge. It's not hitting very hard. I don't have very much ability power going right now. Yeah, Destructive Pylon. I've got that on my sand here right now. That's why, you know, it gets these reflect beams. Look at the crit damage on the reflect beams. It just... big booms. You figure you get that up to tier 5 on a roller lane, and it's gonna, when it hits the roller sweet spot, it crits for over 10 mil, which is pretty dang sweet. I was all bummed about Cyclone. I just leveled that pet up this morning. I did a couple of runs just to check it out. Crap, now what did I do with my kitty cat? Oh, there it is. Put it up here so I don't forget about it. In fact, I think I want to put it. Put it on my first tab so I really don't forget about it. I want to get Autumn Meow leveled up next because it's just the coolest looking little cat. She was gone for 2 weeks, Dylan. Or not quite 2 weeks, but just under 10 days, 11 days, something like that. Oh, I streamed a ton. Just in that 10 days, I would bet I streamed close to 100 hours in those 10 days. Damn dogs. I'm gonna shut my front door if that dog's gonna be out there barking. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back just in time to see my demise. Those are all custom commands like Quicksilver. Either myself or Light Rain created them all manually. A lot of videos. There could probably, if... Well, you know, once we get whatever this new system turns into with the item power or the hero power and deck power and all that stuff, there's going to be a whole lot more tutorials coming. And I've been holding off on redoing some of them, actually, waiting for that to get here. Because I don't want to do stuff just to redo it again in a couple of weeks. So I'm sure down the road there will probably be over 100 once it's all said and done. What's going on there, FaZe Phoenix? It was it was 30 or 40 before Quicksilver. Light Rain did a lot of work to it, but there was a ton of them there before. Like 6 or 7 pages on the Nightbot page. Or, yeah, on the Nightbot management page. Well, I mean, if you've got all your best stuff on one hero, Dylan, if you feel like you're stuck, then what will jumpstart you through that is upgrading pieces. You still need a weapon for my one projectile, no good. I'm gonna say, still need a weapon for my monk for this time around. And good lord, the chess pieces is absurd today. That's actually a good one, so I'm not gonna complain. That's a user right there. In fact, that might just go right on this EV. I've actually got a semi-decent hero health piece there now. I don't even know whose post that is. I think that's Suck the Fabled post, but I'm not positive. That Reddit post, but since that question gets asked so much, people didn't like my video on how to get loot. I got a lot of messages saying that I made people sound stupid or whatever in the video. So that's why I don't link my how to get better loot video. I don't want people thinking I'm being that away. This is wrong. Yeah, that's what makes me think that it was Suck the Fabled there, Quicksilver. It sounds like a name he would create. He's all about the Merlin and the wizards and whatnot. I still wonder why he changed the name, made the name Suck. I mean, that to me, that sounds... That name could get trolled so hard. Alright, let's see. This was a keeper. This stuff's no good. Actually, I'll keep that for a spare obelisk. Sadly, the Infernal Combustor can go away. Alright, rinse and repeat here, basically. We got 3 boss lanes. Yeah, let's go up farther. Here's one of them. So we're going to do the full enchilada setup here. Oops. Get some proton action. Reflect beam, and then 2 auras. Maybe. There we go. And then once again here, we're going to need Skyguards as well. I'm going to end up doing a little bit of everything Light Rain. Basically, is me. Right now I'm trying to get relics on as many heroes as I can to kind of prepare for it. This here is a non-boss lane. Now it could get Zapper in the last wave, but I'm not really... He gets stuck half the time anyway, so I'm not overly concerned about Zapper. Yeah, right now, ideally, I would like to get all of my heroes re-geared. That way I'm all good to go. Don't like where I put this. It's not enough wall coverage. Go right there, I guess. It's a tiny bit better. Because I've got 5 bags of golden loot right now, Quicksilver. 1 bag is not enough. I mean, using the inventory filter system, it's almost pointless to set the auto loot up for anything other than to just auto collect everything. If you don't know where something is, then you can use that, you know, use the filter system and find everything so quick. Now this lane I'm going to use 3 auras, that way I get a little bit better better air protection there. Because he types them in 10 times a day there, Nathan. See, and then this is a boss lane, of course, right here as well. I'm gonna have tons of DU left over. I think I'll just go Flame R's all the way down this lane, probably. Actually, there's enough for more. I can go one more flame or I'll leave the 20. Where do I want it? I've got... Well, you know what? I didn't like the flame aura here, so I can just add in another. There we go. And you know what? Might as well. I got 20 DU left over. Might as well throw a sand right there as well. Buff that proton beam in that one aura. Yeah, you got to make the names of those commands easy to remember. It makes a big difference. I'm excited to see some of those changes that Elandrian talked about, particularly the shards. However, I'm very curious with the shards. If shards go into a permanent slot on your hero where you don't have to change them anymore, I'm curious as what that's going to do for people like me that have 1,000,000 shards and they're all stored in relics. Is that going to... I mean, is there going to be an entire separate inventory for your shards? There would have to be almost. Or I'm going to be screwed. I've got what? I've got 2.5 bags full of gear with shards in it. I mean, if all of these shards got dumped out into the world, or there we go. If all this just got dumped out into my bags, I'm going to be in a bad way. This one's getting a little disorganized for sure. They're all getting a little messy. I got to go through them again. Well, yeah, heroes are going to have to hold extras. I'm wondering if that's going to be the new shard storage. Light Rain is making lots and lots of duplicate heroes that are just for holding shards. I mean, luckily, I think when that conversation happens, I think I'll probably be able to be in on the conversation when it happens with Trendy, with talking about fine-tuning that mechanic. I think I'll probably be able to get into that conversation. Hoping so anyway. I'm going to try. Why the reflect beams? Because you can AFK siege rollers with them, and then I can be exceptionally lazy and just stare at chat and ignore what's going on. Which is, you know, ignoring what is going on in game is what I do best. It has cost me so many matches. Yeah, I'm very curious. See, the thing with the EV is, I think with the McManus, the healing from the Ancient Power is going to be really, really strong. But I just wonder how often the EV needs it. I mean, I don't take a whole lot of damage on my EV. We'll get a little siege roller boom boom in right here. Hopefully I upgraded that side. I didn't even look at what I did. Yeah, I upgraded it. Let's see. Siege roller should die here. Just keep from getting blowed up. But yeah, this is the main reason I do it. Now, being set up an AFK setup, it's not a fast setup. He's got to roll all the way out so that his butt is over the reflect beams. Well, it actually didn't get it. I need better gear. But you guys get the point. Another upgrade and that roller will be had. Better gear and a little bit more ascension, and then it'll be able to. Hopefully we get another roller here. Yep, there's a roller down below. I don't disapprove of the stat increase. I actually like the concept of it. I just feel like it's not enough. In some of them more than others. Like the range, anyone who would put points into the defense range there and leave them in it, even after looking at the results, is just not using their head. I mean, it's just even with 4 people stacked, you know, if you got 4 people with 5 ancient power points, it works out to 25% of what you would get from a deadly strike shard. It just seems really, really insignificant. I mean, in my mind, the range should be more than what a shard gives. It's ancient power. I mean, it's supposed to be the strongest thing in the game, you know? But that's just, that one particularly. And then, like, the reduction of your death timer. I mean, you've got to be at the end, have, you know, 35, 40 ancient power points before you would even consider using that one. The build time one would be better if it included repair time. And then it would kind of make up for that construction shard a little bit. But on the same note, it's just such a really, really small value. Like, construction is 75%. That shard being greater than ancient power, in my mind, that system needs to, or those benefits need to get relooked at. And I know they are looking at them. There we go. There's a dead sea driller. I know they are looking at them for sure. I mean, I'm not against the raw power thing. I just think it should be more. You know, 5% on defense power with 5 points into it, to me, seems unrewarding. It works if you do the math with your Ascension. I mean, if you have your Ascension capped and it's at 999, then it's going to be giving you a decent benefit. But if you look at it, the 5% with, say you've got 1,000, or say you're at 140 points. If you're at 140 points, which is the old caps, and you've got the 5 ancient power points, it works out to like 2,000 more defense power. So I mean, it's not a significant amount, but it is enough where it's definitely going to be an increase of power that you can feel. But it just, once again, it just seems to me with 5 ancient power points, it seems like it should be more powerful than that. A jump height increase, that would be absolutely cool as hell. No doubt about that. You know, just to appease me, could also go with like a jump height increase, and then once you get it capped out or whatever with 5 points, it gives you double jump. Or is that just asking for too much? That might be asking for too much. Still need a McManus. I'm using this thing right now, this McDougar's, which, I mean, it's the next best thing, but it's just not spectacular. What's going on there, Billy? Where's the roller at? Coming down the mid again. I guess I can get this Quibbly lane upgraded here. Good enough. I think they're going to try to keep a pretty similar feel to DD1 there, Austin. I bet you it has the different stances. I was going to do a video on the Barbarian talking about why it's not here yet. A lot of people that started playing the game on launch last summer, they don't realize how many times the Barbarian has lost those influence votes. The Barbarian lost to the Mystic, lost to the Mana Machine, and then came in last place in a 3-way vote between the Mystic and the Mana Machine. So, I mean, the Barbarian has lost the community polling votes. Yet people now, of course, want him there because when it introduced the Xbox, you know, that brought a lot of DD1 fans into the mix. The Mana Machine, by the old voting that went on, the Mana Machine should actually come next and not the Barbarian. But we all know it's going to be the Barbarian because public view has changed. Yeah, he may have lost to the Lavamancer too. I'm not sure. I'd have to look back through the old polling. I know he lost to a lot. What am I doing? Upgrading with one mob left. He lost a bunch of times. Hero medallions. You mean defender medals? You get 25 per map no matter what tier you're doing. So yeah, it would be slightly faster to do the easiest tier you can, but you're going to be missing out on a ton of other stuff by doing that. You're better off spending the extra 60 seconds per map and doing a higher tier. I didn't touch that roller at all, Rich. That's why the reflect beams. That's the whole point of it. Yep, gotta have Chaos 7 unlocked first. Oh, about to get back over 100 mil again. It's been a while. What's the Mana Machine I keep talking about? He's the Mana Machine is a character that was in the MOBA back in the early design of DD2. Before they got rid of the MOBA idea. In fact, I'll see if I can't find you guys one of the images here real quick. Let me say. I know I've got an image of it here somewhere. Some of the kind of the early concept art. Here's one. Yep. There's the Mana Machine right there. It's a little dwarf dude sitting in a bot, basically, but it's got the potential to be really, really strong. No doubt about it. Anyway, let's get back to it. Now I'm curious to find another one. I know I've got more, let me look. I know I got more images of the Mana Machine here. Where could you be? Here's one. Here's one that's probably closer to what it will actually look like. Something like that. This is the hero I'm looking forward to. There's no doubt about it. Definitely going to be cool. What's the best FPS character? Well, there's not an FPS mode, or is there? Is there an FPS mode? I don't think there is. I hope not. I'm never going to use it. No, there's not an FPS mode in the game that I can see. I've never been interested to look for that, though. Well, yeah, FPS can be frames per second or first-person shooter. Oh, DPS. DPS, there is really no best. There's a bunch of really good ones. It depends on how you want to play. Alright, so once again, we got a non-boss lane. So non-boss lane will get a Proton Beam and 3 auras. Something like that. Do need air in on this map. Yeah, it depends. Like Light Rain's mentioned there, it really depends on how you want to play. You know, There's a lot of options there. Do you want big one-hit damage? Do you want more sustained damage? You know, do you want a lot of lane clearing AoE or a lot of crowd control? There's lots and lots and lots of options. In fact, every hero can be used depending on what playstyle you like. Those were limited skins there, Quentin, so I can't imagine they're ever going to be available again. They shouldn't be, because they told all the people that they bought them that they were going to be exclusive to that season. So I would guess they will probably never be available. If so, the people who bought them back then are going to be pissy. Because it said that was one of the selling points on the little dealie was these are available for a limited time only. Oops. This is not a boss lane. I'm messing myself up here. Now I can do some lane sharing on the auras here. Yeah, neither of those are boss lanes. Gotta save all that DU for over here. Both of these are boss lanes, of course. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, I don't really count. Zapper's such a non-issue. I don't really consider him a boss. He's Zapper is just another loot pinata for Wave 7. I still stand by it. The best strategy versus Zapper is ignore he exists, because he's just gonna die and he's not gonna do anything in the process. Even if he dive bombs your main core, it's just barely puts a scratch on it. Zapper's a chump. He got nerfed so hard. Zapper used to be terrifying in the eyes of all. For a minute or two, anyway, he was. See, I got enough for one more somewhere. I think I'll put it here. That other lane always seems to kind of manage itself. I'll just throw sand right there. Yeah, Geronimo, you can do either one, Onslaught or Trials. You're going to find easier gear progression in Onslaught, but Trials is more, I mean, the way I'm using Trials anyway, Trials is more for skipping Onslaught floors. If you want to skip them, Trials is a little faster. But if you're on the shard grind and you're only at Chaos 2, the best thing you can do is just progress up through. There are no shards that are going to keep you from not being able to get into Chaos 3 and Chaos 4. And then that's where the good stuff is. Chaos 3 is where Deadly Strikes is, and Chaos 4 has got defense rate and power transfer, and that's the best shards in the game right there, essentially. Yeah, anyone that had cleared Chaos 7 or had been in a successful Chaos 7 match before the update came, their Killing Legend got floor 55 auto-unlocked for them. Like right now, it takes doing 9 Chaos 7 matches, but if you had even cleared 1 before the update, it just gives it to you. See, I guess I better check on this side at least, throw a couple ups around. And then the Sky Guards need to be upped as well. It was kind of the upfront one-time freebie for the players who had already gone through all that to keep them from having to go through all the content again. Now, of course, if you use, as soon as you use Ancient Power, that's gone away, and you've got to go back through the system again. Never done floor 1 through 54. The progression is really good. The gear progression is. If you could just go straight from floor 1 through 54, and unless you just have just absolutely terrible RNG, never repeat a floor. So yeah, I mean, the progression is really, really smooth. When you look at first time progression, although Trials is faster for the experienced player, when you look at first time progression, it's probably going to equal the same amount of maps. Because you're going to have to do a whole bunch of Chaos 1s, a whole bunch of Chaos 2s, Chaos 3s, and so on, until you kind of learn how everything works. Oh man, I got no ability power right now. Well, hopefully we get that update next week. I'm going to make sure I'm ready to go at floor 65 for when the patch hits, and I'll start progressing up from there. Now, I should get all the way up to my previous high and be ready to go from that point, but I don't want to go through the frustration of the rerolls in case I derp any maps. Or not the rerolls, the back to floor 1 crap. Back to map 1. You know what I mean. The irritating thing. Yeah, I've got Chaos 7 unlocked on Xbox. I haven't played on the Xbox in several months though. If I log on the Xbox right now, then I'm losing time on the PC, and it's just too much grind. The grind is real, no doubt about it. Nah, there's no sign of any more Chaos tiers being added yet. I'm sure they will eventually, but there's a lot to do before that happens, so that won't be coming anytime soon. Onslaught is unlimited though, so I mean, if you want to challenge yourself, pushing up through the Onslaught floors is the way to do it. I would guess there probably will be, probably 2021, 2022. If a DD3 happens, that's probably when it will release. 2022. There, I'm calling it now. Actually, 2023 sounds more realistic. Figure it takes 5 years. If they started working on it right now, in fact, 2023 would probably be the launch date. You can pair the Dryad with anybody. Frosty Power works really, really well with the Dryad, as long as you don't have Cyborgs, and you can throw the bees and slimes right in the middle. Frosty Power works great. With slimes, it's crazy. Was that it? Yeah, just that one wall. Took a few shots. VR DD3 coming in 2023. Man, I hope not. The whole VR thing, I understand its coolness and all, but for someone like me who wants to record the videos and put them on YouTube, VR videos on YouTube look so bad, in my opinion. Having those two little eye slots, I don't know, I don't like watching videos of someone playing in VR. Yeah, I've had hundreds of streams with subs there, Dakota. Problem right now is the game is anti-co-op. The game is not set up to play with people, unfortunately. Something with lightsabers. I tell you, the one game that I have played that I think would be cool in VR is Subnautica. Would be pretty awesome. That game would be just crazy in VR. I couldn't imagine seeing my first Reaper in VR in Subnautica. Would scare the crap out of me. Yeah, good enough. I'm just gonna let it roll. Wave 5 anyway. And the VR stuff is all so expensive. I mean, you can buy these little kits for your cell phone and stuff, but that's not the same. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't, you know, going by what other people have told me, it doesn't seem like it's the same. Let's see what's over there. Can't tell from here. Guess I'll just run over there and see. Gloves. Oh! My count was at 2,800 prior to my first prestige there, Killing Legend. 2832, I think it was. It still shows all that stuff. If you go to powers, it should show, yeah, there it is, 2828, your highest achieved ascension. So it still tracks it for you. I can't imagine going past that anytime soon, though. They would have to make some big changes to XP buffs. Oh, and look at this, legendary chest on Nimbus. So glad they fixed that. The helmet. I've got a bit of a boot shortage right now. Man, really low roll in the ability power. That'd be a usable helmet. No such luck there, though. Yep, that's about it, Austin. You just, for leveling, you always want to do the highest tier you can. The difference in experience is pretty huge between Chaos 1 and Chaos 7. Bunch of low rolls there. I said that one would be a keeper if that ability power wasn't so low. And then more, I've got almost a whole page of, well, I got half a page probably of hero damage, ability power, hero crit stuff with no hero health. And I would just prefer not to use any of that gear. I personally really want to have hero health always. Oops. Wrong homie. So we got a boss lane here. We're right about there. And then 2 flame auras. I like to use more than 2 when I can, but it seems like the DU works out best with 2 most of the time. Since I don't have LSAs geared yet. Now, I do have a relic I could put on them. I just have yet to do it. I need to get with the program there. And both of these are boss lanes. And if you notice, I'm doing lazy builds too. So like, that EV is actually a reflect beam build EV that I'm throwing protons down with too, just because I don't want to have more than 4 in my deck. I did split up the Flame Auras and Sky Guards just so I could maximize those, as they would be doing quite a bit of the work. Let's see, and then these are non-boss lanes. Now the only difference here is this center lane, of course, is 2 lanes converging. So I want to make sure this lane is really beefed up. So like here, I'm going to go with a double proton, I believe. What does that leave me? 220? Yeah, that's enough for a bunch of auras. Actually, I got enough for, what, 2 more. I think I'll throw them here, though. Go 1 here and then 1 here. And that should make this one easy mode. Yeah, I break it up and play different stuff all the time, Dakota. I'm still trying to beat the 4th map in They Are Billions, which I haven't given it very many attempts. I've only tried it like once or twice. Or I think I tried it once, and I've got a second one that I started that's saved right now. I've got a lot of stuff I want to play right now, so it's DD2 taking up so much time is actually hindering some of the other stuff. I want to get back in. People are telling me that Fortnite has had enough changes to the Save the World stuff that it's worth jumping in and looking at. Like now, I guess you can upgrade heroes in rarity, which that was one of the major complaints before, is it was so tied into purchases. But I don't know how all that works. So I want to get back in and check out a little Fortnite. And then 7 Days to Die, I want to finish They Are Billions. I actually debated on trying to get the max difficulties on They Are Billions beaten. But, I mean, considering I haven't even beat map 4 yet, I'm a ways off from that. That would be pretty cool if you could have more than 4. But I don't think that will ever change, though. Because it's so based off, you know, that aspect of it's just 100% based off of the first game. Well, I guess there was no swapping like this in the first game. What am I talking about? I don't know. I still don't think there will be, I don't think we'll ever be able to add more than 4. It would be cool, though. You could put together like a, you know, an 8-team deck or whatever. That would be awesome. You wouldn't have to spend hardly any time doing deck management stuff. Yeah, I debated on trying out some OMD as well. Again, then I do have a bit of a history with Robot Entertainment. They're all really, really awesome people, so it's difficult not to support their games. It's where it all began for me with the YouTube channel, was with Robot Entertainment and Orcs Must Die. Yeah, there it is, Mateo. Light Rain linked it to you. But it's basically all about the siege rollers. I'm pretty low on the power end right now with my Ascension being low. And I haven't found all the perfect relics yet. But once I get up to, say, like 500-ish Ascension, and I have better relics and split up heroes, you can set this down, not upgrade it, and just hit G and roll through the entire map without upgrades or anything doing this. Now, of course, upgrades are going to make it better, but you can do it without. No siege roller, no siege rollers at all. Twinkie! What's going on there, Twinkie? Right, good enough. Yeah, you can do it without destructive Quicksilver. Another way to do it is not use the sand. I guess I should go to a lane that actually has it. Not use the sand and not use the flame aura, and instead put another reflect beam there and have 2 reflect beams on top of a proton beam, and it's good too. And the only reason I do it this way is it adds so much CC to the lane that it gives me a big sense of security when I'm AFK in these maps. If I'm just grinding it out. Like, I'll probably do quite a bit of AFK grinding later on today. Because, you know, with the wife being gone for a while, she just got back into town. We'll probably watch a movie or something together. And I will probably AFK through that. Is that a medallion? No, it's a helmet. Man. Just a little on the low side on the rolls. The problem with armor is if you go a little on the low side on all of your armor pieces, when you add it all together, it's a significant difference. If it's 200 there and 300 there. Do I think it takes too long to level up? I don't think it takes that long at all, Killing Legend. I mean, even with no... I got the XP buffs going now from Ancient Power, but even with no XP buffs, you level up every 2 maps when you're all the way capped. That's pretty quick. You know, so you level up once every... Even like a new player, can you level up their Ascension once every 20 or 30 minutes? Really easily. So I don't think that it takes that long to level up at all. It's 2 maps, you know? I mean, unless you're sitting there farming the low-end stuff, you should always be doing the highest tier you can. But if you're to the point where the amount of XP caps at the 8.5 million, it takes not even 2 Chaos 7 maps to get a level. So it's really, really fast in that aspect. I mean, you can easily sit down for a solid day of gaming and pick up 8 to 10 levels just in one day, pretty easily, without even spending an excessive amount of time. What's my favorite game? Well, I mean, right now, it's pretty obviously DD2. There's a few games that could pull me away, briefly at least, from DD2 coming up, and they might not be here for a while, we just don't know, and that's Terraria Otherworld. I will definitely put a lot of time into that game, and then Borderlands 3, I'll definitely put some time into that. Here's a usable mark. Oh, and there's a McManus. Alright, well, I gotta try the McManus out. It's a purple one, unfortunately. But, you know what, I'm even gonna upgrade it. I wanted to check out the heal on the McManus here. Oh yeah, there we go. It looks like it's putting all 3 shots together into one. Because it looks like the non-crit heal is 6,700. Those 300s are just scrolling off. Well, I need to get where some mobs are at. Let's see, where do I want to go? Over here, I guess. There's always a bunch of mobs here. Gonna need to take some more damage to be able to look at the numbers. Come hit me. Oh, not that hard. He don't went and hit me too hard. Yeah, now it's too late in the map to test it. There's not enough mobs. Well, there's boots. And then, once again, wrong stats, low rolls. I mean, that one, even if it had higher rolls, it would be, you know, it's still the wrong stats. Not what I'm looking for. Alright, what's in the box? Well, there's a legendary box. I haven't seen any of the named legendary items on the EV2 this playthrough yet. Not one of them. There's more boots. Low rolls, correct stats that time, but the rolls are all too low. That's like 300 down on every stat. If I did that on all my pieces, I'd be 1,500 down from the top. That's just too low. Can't use it. I'll probably do a getting through right now. You know, since I've done more than 9 Chaos 7s, I'm at floor 55 in Onslaught. I think I might do a stream going up through that system. You know, it's Assault on Throne Room I need for that. Alright, let's clear it out. I will save that. Just not good enough. Actually, that one's close. I could save that and put it on a hero I don't use very often, maybe. These ones just had really low rolls. They all need to go. What's going on, Sham? Alright, then just gonna rinse and repeat, basically. Non-boss lane, so it gets the standard issue. Proton, 3 flames. Yeah, you have to get 155 stars for Vicious Strikes. That's the only way. Masteries are exactly what you would think by the name. It's more for endgame players that have a full selection of shards. Now you can go through and kind of snipe off easier maps just to collect the early stars, because every Chaos tier definitely has easier maps. But I mean, it's best done, you know, once you've gotten a full selection. Well, solo is easier than a group, Nathan, for the Chaos, for the trials. So you just don't have builders, is what you're saying. Chaos 1, all you need is a Waller and a Monk. That's it. If you can do Flame Auras, Lightning Strike Auras, Skyguard Towers, and you have somebody to put walls down with, then you're good. So, I mean, Chaos 1 doesn't take much if you wanted to strip down to the basics. Oh, crap. I went through and did the full sand trap setup again on non-boss lanes. Thank you very much, Quicksilver. I do appreciate it a ton. Quicksilver's longtime supporter of the Juicy Nation. So thank you very, very much. Dryad, in theory, is not good for C2 at all, Nathan. You have to be careful with your placements of your stuff on the Dryad, or the Dryad will stink at C2. So don't think you're getting yourself an easy win button. The C2, the answer for a newer player with the starter heroes, is cannonballs, poison dart towers, and flamethrowers, period. That will get you through C2 with no issues, just those 3 defenses. See, I've already got a ton over here. I got 50 left. I definitely don't need another Sky Guard. But I feel like I overkilled it already. I mean, I could always split these up and give them a dedicated... Yeah, there we go. Good enough. How long am I streaming for? Probably like another hour, Pixia, something like that. Thank you very much for subscribing there, Goat Lover. I do appreciate it. If any of you guys are good at making gifts, I'd like to get a new gift for that, for new subscribers. You could, well, I mean, whatever. There's lots of stuff already out on the internet, but I was hoping for some kind of animated version of my logo. It's 20 DU, Quicksilver. Are you saying I should get some heals down? Probably not a bad idea. I'm actually checking the... Well, I've been thinking about checking, but I completely forgot to that wave. The power of the Life Leech Ancient Power with this Migmanus projector. See an Ogre. I think that's more than enough. A couple of ups on these Sky Guards. Yeah, that's pretty much how the RNG goes. I agree with you there, Sham. Man, my mouse keeps going again. I'm wondering now, is it just coincidentally that my mouse and keyboard are both going out at the same time, or is there something going on with my USB controller? Because, like, my microphone never does that, and it's a USB mic. What else do I use? It's USB. I guess nothing. I don't really use anything else that's USB. What do we got here? That's not a good roll, but that's a usable chess piece as well. Maybe I can, maybe the next stream I'll get a little Gunwitch action going again. I think I've probably got enough gear thrown together now. I can go buy a Mega Shark to get her a weapon right out of the gates. Let's see. Good enough. Yeah, no specific builds. That's the whole thing with Onslaught. Every map is different. Come on, hit me again. Don't kill me. Just do a little damage. Ugh, they're all dying. Lady Orc will get me. There we go. Alright, let's see how long it takes me to get back to full. Yeah, it didn't take very long. I mean, now there's no mobs to hit, but no mobs to hit also means no mobs to hit me, so. Let me see if I can get a little lower without dying. Ooh, that's as low as I'm comfortable going. With assassins in the mix. I don't know if you guys have noticed the numbers. There was one that was 43,000. That was a charged shot crit. And it healed me for 43,000. That's significant. Now the question, of course, is are you really going to be taking that much damage on the EV? Because the EV is a hero that you really should not be taking much damage on. Geronimo, my favorite to farm with is the this one I'm using. The EV2, the Flamar, or EV2, Monk, Mystic are definitely my big three for farmers. I actually usually DPS on the Mystic when I want to just straight up farm. But right now I want, I want to get some EV2 weapons, so I'm raising the chance of getting those weapons by playing on the EV2, playing active. Yeah, that's the thing about heroes is, getting a new hero, the new hero is not going to do anything for you until you get the gear for it, like Light Rain's talking about there. Crap, I just spilled some stuff in my... And I wonder why my keyboard is going out. I keep spilling crap in it. Sucks. Alright, there we go. Yeah, that's been a thing forever, Doug. Boss is getting stuck. I think I sent you a message on Twitch there, Doug. Did that that code that you won on that giveaway I did that work for you or did it not work for you? Somebody said it didn't work for him and I can't remember who it was. But I remember that you were one of the winners. No gear. I don't do crap to sea drillers anymore. Gotta get me a full set of gear. Where's our medallion? Man, really low rolls. That sucks. Look at the secondary rolls. The secondary rolls are all good. Or solid. Usable for sure. And that primary stat roll is just way too low. Yours said it was already used? Alright. Well, I'm gonna send you a message. I think I've got you instant message string set up with you on Twitch. I'll send it to you on Twitch as soon as send you another one on Twitch as soon as I get done with the stream here. And tell me if that one works. The main thing with progressing in Onslaught is building to the... on every level is always build to the lanes and the modifiers that are there. Every time you build an Onslaught map, you should be looking at what mobs are coming out of that lane and use that to decide what defenses to use. Don't just throw the same things on every lane or you're just not gonna progress. You're gonna come to a wall really, really quick. But if you just go in, like if you take this build I'm using here with the reflect beams and stuff, and you just go in and spam it on every lane in Onslaught, you will fail. Because that's the whole point of Onslaught, is that you got to think out your lanes, and it's supposed to be a different experience every time. So the mutators in the lanes that come always change. Bastille Master stuck on map 3, wave 5. Well, there's a timer on them too. If they get stuck inside, you can just wait it out. Eventually they'll die. Sometimes it takes a long time though. It'll take like as long as like 6 minutes. And then depending on what heroes you're using, like bees will go inside the spawn. So if you got a Dryad in your deck, you can always like sell something else and throw some bees down by the spawn. They'll go in and kill it. The charged shot, like I'm using right now on the CV, that will go inside the spawns and kill. See, what was that? It was win 5. Oh, nice. I didn't even notice that I ticked over, but I did tick over. Thank you very much for subscribing there, Trey. And Goat Lover, I think I thanked you, but if I didn't, thank you very much as well. I do appreciate it. Well, it's not the same on every lane, on every map, is the point there, Ollie. What you use to counter a lane can be the same, but it's going to be different on every lane will be different on every map. Let's see. Where do I want to start? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'll start on the far side like I normally do. Yeah, you gotta wait for that fire shield to go down before you hit him. That Bastille Master will wreck your day. I mean, when you think about it, you know, look at how much damage you do to the target dummy. Even if your DPS is 1,000,000 damage per second, that's not the amount of damage that you can take. You will be wrecked quick. I've been killed by the Bastille Master more times than I can count. Back in the early days of that incursion, you know, long before Onslaught was in its current form. Oh man, that guy did me in so much, or that girl, pardon me. Yeah, I mean, once you get to floor 57, you've got all of the available lanes and mutator combos. So from 57 up, theoretically, you could use the same setup on a similar lane, you know, on 57 or on 99. Well, assuming you're not playing melee too. 99, you're probably not going to make it too long playing melee. Just can't take them shots. Let's see. Let's go doubles there. That leaves me what? That leaves me a ton for this lane. Wow. I underbuilt again, or I did too much lane sharing. I'm gonna have to go back over and look and see what I got going on those other sides. I did put a Skyguard over there. Yep, I see it. Man, I've got a lot of leftovers. Lots of leftovers. 50 left. I guess I had 50 left last time too, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Do that and say that. Yeah, you're not going to get a lot of defender medals for doing anything at all in the game, Shilton. It's all about just playing. The more maps you get in, the more defender medals you have. Always re-roll your dailies. There's no like mode or anything you can do in the game to get a lot of defender medals. It's just always going to be time consumer. I mean, it's the premium in-game currency, you know, so there's just no way to blast through it. You should look through them all and see who looks like the most fun and get that one. Because you got a long grind ahead of you, so make sure it's a fun hero. Man, that went... I just spammed around and didn't even really pay attention to what I was doing. Did take a little wall damage, it looks like. Throw some ups in over here. Just, I don't like it when these lanes are taking damage early. Let's see. I'm just gonna go ahead and upgrade that one. Throw the rest into the sky guards here. Most people actually get the EV2 first, Quicksilver. It's the, as far as I know anyway. Now, I don't see the real numbers, obviously. Someone from Trendy would have to get that. But as far as the going past the original 4 heroes, there's more EV2s than any other hero. Now, part of that is the EV2's been out longer. It was the second overall hero to be released. The one here, the EV2, the reason I always suggest it, besides it just being my favorite, and I do suggest everyone pick their favorite, but the reason I suggest it is the EV2 is one hero that can directly affect your progression. You know, when you get to like Chaos 6, Reflect Beams are going to be your lifesaver. I mean, you don't need to have the Reflect Beams, but they do make life much, much easier if you have them. That, and on every Chaos tier that doesn't have Cyborgs, Proton Beams in the mix, just adding just Proton Beams is just so huge. They just do so much damage and provide so much crowd control. And right now they're completely busted because a lot of people don't know, but currently you're getting the full value of the Proton Beam slow without putting any points into Ascension. So by putting points into Ascension, they're not getting any slower. You're at 50%. You know, it's supposed to be at 50% after you put the points in. And if you look right there, slow to 50% all the way at the bottom with no points in it. So currently, although it is the right thing to do to put points into it, currently it's broken. So don't put any points into your Proton Beam slow at the moment. Now that will be fixed pretty quick. I would imagine that's probably a pretty easy one. A hot fix will take care of that probably. Long term it will be. As far as like instant gratification from resetting, you'll get none. But I mean long term, yeah. You know, long term, someone who doesn't use Ancient Power is not going to have the benefit over someone who does. Someone who does is going to be able to progress much further in the game. But it also, the question comes down to how much do you want to play? Because right now, to get to a point where it's anything significant, it is going to require a lot of hours. So, I mean, if you just want to put 100 hours into the game or whatever, don't progress. It's instant depression if you're someone who just really doesn't understand what's going on with your ancient power. I would agree with that 100%. Most of the people that are complaining about the ancient power that have reset, I mean, pretty obviously aren't looking at what their long-term gains are going to be. In the short term, I got mixed emotions on it. You know, I mean, it needs to be changed. We all know it. Trendy knows it. You know, and they're working on it, on ways to get it adjusted where it feels stronger. But right now, it's just the whole system is designed for someone who wants to put a bazillion hours into the game. And like me personally, I am going to put a bazillion hours into the game. So for me, it's in my best interest, you know. Well, you just got to push higher there, Sham. Get your starting ascension higher. I think if your starting ascension was anything above like 150, you would probably be good, would be my guess. I haven't reset in the last 2 weeks there, Craig, so I'm still at 8. My last ancient power reset was actually was it a week or 2 weeks ago? It's either a week or 2 weeks ago my last ancient power reset was. But I haven't even looked at an onslaught map since I've reset again. I mean, in theory, where I'm at, just where I'm at from the 8 ancient powers I get, I'm not going to get the full benefit of it unless I get it back up to like 1100 ascension. Awesome, Freddy. What's your ascension at now, Light Rain? It's got to be pretty high. Oh yeah, so it was a week ago. Friday is when I reset on the late Friday night stream. Approaching 1600. So you'll get a pretty decent starting ascension. You'll get more than you ever need. Anything over 210 is overkill. Now, of course, the more you overkill it, the more AFK you can do the 1 through 55. But right now, anything over a 210 starting ascension is definitely overkill. You just don't need it. Almost to the tutorial ascension level. Come on, charge shot. Why are you not proccing? There went one, finally. That's the bad part about the EV2 with the heal. If charge shot doesn't proc, oh man, you're just not going to take any healing in. This is probably not the way I would play. I'm just, you know, I'm in that just playing around and testing stuff phase at the moment. Another blue chest. Ewy. Yeah, your first time you reset, you get 3 starting ascension levels for every floor past 65. So light rain's done what to 115. I mean, that's 100 and almost 150 starting ascension right there, just from his floors, not including his other starting ascension. You get 40 more for every 1,000 ascension level. But yeah, anything over 210 is definitely overkill. Now, I mean, down the road, you know, that extra second that you save here or second you save there will probably, the seconds will add up. Alright, let's see. Man, what a shame with those substat rolls. That one's... I could put that one on an off piece, maybe. No good there. That one's just disappointing. I'm kind of tempted to switch over to the Gunwitch now and start playing, but I haven't gotten the canisters, you know, that I'm looking for. I want to get a legendary McManus. Alright, Dominic, take it easy. Have a good one. Yeah. Fail jump for the loss. Put this up a little too high this time, but it's alright. I'm sure I'll live. Still got a real slight overlap on those flames. It's all good. I tell you what looks really cool is that Sea of Thieves game. I think that game looks cool as hell. It is a shame that you can't control the boat without a group of 4. I mean, you would always have to have a full group to really have fun playing the game. But it does, when you do have that full group, it looks insanely fun. I mean, who doesn't want to be a pirate, you know? That's good stuff. Yeah, I'll leave this one alone for now until I get these done. I would get the EV2 before anything else there, Geronimo, personally. Oh, you've already got the Dryad? Yeah, I would definitely get the EV2. Wrong monk. And I got lots of leftover mana again. I'll do the double here again. And throw that in the mix for good measure. Leaves me 50. Just go right there. Yeah, should I just throw sand over here too? Why not? Overkill it with the sand. That's what I just said, Fraz, is that unless you had a full group to play with every time, it wouldn't be worth it. Wouldn't be any fun. Rolling around in a one-man ship is just going to get you pwned. So maybe you didn't listen to what I said when I said it, but that's what I actually said. And you said the exact same thing I did in chat to correct me. Mystic or Abyss. I would go with the EV2 before any of the others, but I mean, the Abyss Lord is definitely going to help out in Onslaught, and the Mystic is the Mystic. She's a beast, so if I was to start over and do it, I would probably actually get the EV2 first, then the Mystic, then the Dryad, personally. But it's all personal preference too, you know? The Mystic just it turns a lot of things a lot easier. How much is good for C7? Well, I mean, anything over 1,000,000 is going to get the job done. If you can do 1,000,000 DPS, you're going to win the matches. Now, obviously, the more you have, the merrier, but anything over 1,000,000 would work. I enjoy the Dryad. Now, I don't enjoy her as much as I do the full ranged heroes. And like the Mystic, I play as a ranged hero. That, and I mean, when you're a Gunwitch fan, it's tough to enjoy anything else, because the Gunwitch is really, really fun. There is no DPS stat, Hippo. So, anything over 1,000,000 DPS and you're going to be doing good. You can find that on the target dummy. But yeah, there's not a DPS stat anywhere in the game for your heroes. $35,000 is good. You could probably do it with anything over maybe 25,000, 20,000. I mean, if you want to get yourself in a good position, you want to be 30k plus for it, but for hero damage. But I mean, being able to complete it in what's considered good are a pretty big range. You can complete it much, much lower. As you just saw last week on that Chaos 1 to 7 stream, I ended up doing my first Chaos 7 win. First try with like Chaos 4 to Chaos 5 gear. They're the same in every tier, pretty much there, duh. Just gotta hit them from behind, you know. You can one-shot them in every tier using a boost monk. Yeah, using that nuke monk, you can one-shot them on every single tier. As you're gearing up. Yeah, it looks like I thought I was going to be a bigger fan of the Life Leech, but it's just too dependent on RNG and that charged shot procking on the EV. So this is definitely not a combo I would use on the EV. Is this, I mean, I can get back to full pretty quick, but I don't know, it just seems underwhelming versus the... I would get a little bit more overall benefit, I think, out of putting those points into defense health. And we got a roller right here. Should be good enough. guess I should go through those earlier trials runs and get ready to go for the big push once the update hits. Because like I say, right now I haven't done Onslaught at all, or Onslaught runs. I haven't done Onslaught at all this playthrough, so I'm at 55 right now. Gotta unlock 65 before it even starts to get interesting. Not much ability power, but it's so hard not to use the proton charge. It's so beast. Just good stuff. Guess I better go the long way. Or just let the reflect beam kill it. Good enough. Dang assassins. That took a little bit of damage. I can look at the life leech again. That's the green numbers. I know there's a lot of numbers on screen, but the green numbers that are flowing up are the heal. You get some big ones. I think the highest tick I've seen is like 42,000, which that had to have been a charged shot. Oh, you know what I didn't see? Let me take some more damage. I wonder if Dragolich will affect that, because it is affecting the amount of damage done. Nope. Alright, Drago's not affecting it. That would have been cool. Ah! Pop Drago, heal to full. It actually doesn't seem right. I'm gonna have to test that a little bit. Doesn't seem like it's given the proper percentage on the EV. I didn't get the impression that we'd be able to do one map at a time. I did get the impression that you would be able to retry, though. Now, whether it saves still, I mean, they didn't give enough info to know. So I'm not sure if it's going to be saving mid-floors or exactly what the deal is, but not enough info to tell for sure. But I personally got the impression that all they were talking about is being able to retry map 3. I think long-term they want to... Like, I don't even know. It may be that way. Usually the McManus Projector or the McDougar's shot type are the best there, Penguino. What's going on there, Christopher? Oh, I agree. I mean, that would be ideal if it was that way. I think they want to get it to that. But like I said, it's just not there yet, you know? I want to reset my ancient powers. But I don't want to spend the 200 metals since I only have 800. Why not? I'm getting rid of the life leech. Going back into ancient fortification. Get a little bit healthier walls. Oops. Guess it helps to collect the mana, huh? Well, ideally that'll be starting next week, Andrew. Hopefully. I'm not at the ascension level I want to be, because I want to push high. You know, on the same note, I know that eventually they're going to change the ancient power system. So I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing there as well, you know. So I think this time, or for this first push, originally my plan was to push to 200, floor 200. There's just something to be said about being able to put world first in front of your stream title. But I'm debating on not pushing that far, because it's going to take a long time to get there. It's not like I'm going to be able to do it in a week. It's going to take probably a couple of months. We got all this DU to this map. Let's double up wherever we can. Actually, we could have doubled up right there too. Currently, I would need... what? 243 times 3 is what? 700... 739? Or 729? That's 729, plus I would need another 210 on top of that. So that's 939. Right now I would have to get to 939 just to max 1 defense per hero. Which, you know, obviously, quality of life would say go higher. So you don't have to use so many different heroes. But just to max 1 of every hero, I would have to get to there. It's a shame the little speed boosts aren't working on the pets. It's killing bosses, Patrick, basically. It's taking down the siege rollers, so I don't have to. Let's double up here. The accordion of reflect beams. You think that's bad? Wait till you see what I do on this map. This map, you got all that extra DU, and I use it. Because... I'll show you. It is the None Shall Pass build. I'll have to show you what I'm doing here. I was actually going to do a video on it, because I think you could make it work on every map that you had the DU for. Let me see. Let me grab the rest of the mana. Forgot the reflect beam down at the core. Let's get some walls in. Let's go with a reflect right here. Another reflect right here, just as a CYA type thing, just in case a javelin thrower or hex thrower decides to start tossing badness out there. This is another boss lane. So, I mean, theoretically, I should really load this lane up. That way I can ignore it. But I want to do something fun instead. Alright, I think that should more than handle it. And that leaves me a whole truckload of mana to use right here. So, I'm going to do 3 proton beams. I'm going to start off the furthest I can go back on the side to the furthest I can go, or the furthest I have to go out. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. This one's a little further out though. Yeah. And then I'm going to put one right between them. Right here. And then I'm going to layer reflect beams as close together as I can put them. Now I'm not using the node for the increased reflect beam nodes. I'm not using the shard to increase the nodes. Alright, then we're going to go another one right behind it. This is already overkill, but it looks really amazing. So I'm doing it all anyway. We're going to go with another tier of it. Going to have to go a little further out this time. Something like that. Still leaves me 280 left. Wow. Alright, let's keep going. You know what? I want to move these walls back further. Let's see. Let's go like that. And these I'll put a little further down the stairs. That actually will allow me to redo this one a little better. Now, granted, this is complete absurdity, but like I said, it looks cool. The explosions actually appear to sync up towards the end of it, and that's just absurd. Man, I got way too much DU left. You know what? I'll throw a couple of... The sky guards aren't even going to matter. Let's see, we'll throw some auras in for the flyers. Well, I want to kill him 10 times more than I should. There, Sham. What's going on, Allie? Oh yeah, that one-shot Lavamancer build can be mean. Alright, there we go. Then stand over here and just watch it all go. Because it just, when those explosions go off, there is nothing in the game that's going to survive it. It's way, way too much. It's taken overkill to the next level. It's overkilling the overkill. And of course there's no need to upgrade it. It would be a pain in the butt getting in there and navigating in between the different nodes to get them upgraded properly anyway. So, best to leave it alone. Let it do its thing. Big boom booms. I mean, just nothing makes it out there. That, no, on top of all that reflect beam mess, the mobs that are going up in the air and then falling to the ground from the walls, the ones that are frozen are also taking shatter combo damage from hitting the ground. So it's, I mean, it's just way too many layers of overkill. There's no doubt about that. I'm just going to let it run. Go upgrade on the fly here. The problem there, Quentin, is one Skyguard is 50 DU, and one Reflect Beam is 50 DU. And I want more Reflect Beams. But the mobs, like I said, when they're hitting the ground, they're dying anyway. Yeah, I stream on Twitch as well there, Penguino. I'll be on Twitch tonight at 11 p.m. Playing a little DD2 again. Gonna be grinding it out a bit this weekend, I think. But yeah, I do Saturday night, late night on Twitch, and then Friday during the day. Friday during the day and evening on Twitch as well. I was going to do more of the little unannounced stream on Twitch, but if it's an unannounced stream and it's not DD2, nobody shows up. I streamed, I think it was They Are Billions, but I streamed some They Are Billions the other night with only one viewer. And I know there would have been at least 10 or 15 on YouTube, so I'll probably, any of the little ninja streams that are DD2, I will probably do them on Twitch, but any other, I probably won't do a whole lot of streaming on Twitch that's not DD2, as people just don't show up, you know, which is fine. And here I go, getting into the madness inside, trying to upgrade. I'm just going to spam everything I see that says 50. Oh, misclick. Dang it, another one. Well, I definitely didn't get them all, and now I'm out of mana, so it doesn't matter anyway. It's going all blurry. The torpedo explosion there, Doug. The little booms that you see is a torpedo that goes back and forth from node to node on the reflect beams. It actually hits really, really hard. It's just most people don't utilize it. But that right there is why it's never, ever a bad idea to have a reflect beam on a wall. Because that will also handle any lady orcs that make it through your build over to your wall. If you just have one little reflect beam segment there, it gives them, you know, a nice bit of damage. If you look at the, you know, the overall DPS on it, 557k. But if you look at the crit damage, and this is at tier 2, 3.89 million crit damage at tier 2. That's absurd. And it's AoE, so it's hitting everything for that. So it's critting every explosion because it's hitting so many mobs. It's definitely good stuff. Where's Tuskar? He's up here. He made it through the gauntlet. Needs me some upgrades up here. Actually, yeah, I don't have anything upgraded here. I've never compared the two, Andrew, to give you an honest answer there. I mean, I'm using Vicious Strikes. The graphic on it looks like it's about explosive trap range. But I'm not positive exactly. I would have to look at the stats. I can do that. It's going to be my last run of the stream here, but I'll go out to Tavern and look at the stats real quick and compare them. I bet without Vicious Strikes it's probably a little lower. I mean, Vicious Strikes definitely is what makes it. No doubt about it. See what I mean when they're all in sync? It just is a devastating amount of damage in that area. So anything that's there is just gonna die. That assassin didn't stand a chance. Alright, those upgrades survive the siege roller. Yeah, it's definitely worth it, Arthur. That's a pretty common strategy, in fact. The lane that you plan on DPSing yourself, building that lane less is very, very common strategy. Most people do it. Not everybody, but a lot of people do. I kind of separate boss lanes and non-boss lanes, personally. No, I don't use a mark on anything by choice, Chris. I use medallions on every defense in the game. There's a lot of defenses where marks can be really, really close, or slightly better, depending on the situation. But with most defenses, a medallion will always win the race. But yeah, that's a medallion with power transfer. The power of the power transfer is unreal. Woo! Little unexpected rise there. I wish there was a way to do that on purpose. I got a little bit of a cold going. Got the scratchy throat and the cough and stuff going, which sucks. Zapper's stuck. Where is he stuck? He's stuck right there. See what we got. Well, for trials, Arthur, you'll learn which lanes are boss lanes and which lanes aren't. It doesn't change. The bosses come from the same lanes every time. There's never more than 3 boss lanes on a map. So like on this map, that lane way over there, that lane over there, and then the very bottom lane way down there are the 3 boss lanes. Now, this lane, of course, you're close to the cores and it's a double lane. So you always want to build this lane up heavy. Ah, no good there. Alright, let me pop out the tavern here and I'll take a look at those stats between an explosive and a reflect. Like I said, I would guess the explosive will probably be more without vicious strikes, but with it, I think the reflect beam might surpass it. Let's see, let me find a huntress here. Splody doesn't have her shards. Where did I put the explosive trap shards? Here we go. Get some ascension assigned. Get the range in there anyway. Alright, so an explosive trap, yeah, the damage radius is 390. Reflect beam is way more than that, but that's with vicious. The reflect beam, it's 800, so it's double the range of an explosive trap. But if you took vicious out and went with deadly strikes instead, oh, you know what? Those shards aren't upgraded. That wasn't a fair comparison. Let me upgrade these shards real quick, or upgrade deadly strikes anywhere. See, that takes it to 525. It looks like their base attack range is really comparable. That's with deadly strikes. Let me throw deadly strikes in here. See, 420 and 525. So with just deadly strikes, the explosive is bigger than the reflect. But when you add vicious in the mix, that's what makes the reflect beam so mean. You can go vicious and deadly strikes. I personally find that to be a little bit overkill, and you get the biggest benefit out of vicious. 800 to 525. Not too shabby. Well, there's just the graphic, but yeah, no decal on the ground. So you have to look at the stat. Anyway, everybody, that is going to do it for today. Depending on how this cold goes, I do plan on streaming tonight on Twitch at 11 p.m. Pacific time. But if the cold seems to be getting any worse, or if my nose goes to crap on me and I can't talk right, then I will probably end up skipping that stream altogether. But that is going to do it for today, though. Thank you all a ton for swinging by. I do appreciate it. And I will see you all next time around. Take it easy.